At 4:39 p.m. on June 25th, the fire broke out on the third floor of a closed shop at the DSM International Center in Wuhan, Hubei. Thick smoke was seen at the scene with flames visible from the second floor area. Dozens of fire trucks and a large number of firefighters were present at the site. In the video, thick smoke rose from the lower floors of the high-rise building, spreading towards the upper levels. The smoke enveloped the entire building, with the top floor becoming completely obscured. Many onlookers were seen stopping to watch the scene.
Right now it's smoke. I've been watching it burn for an hour, and the fire's getting bigger and bigger. It started here, and now it's burning over there.
It's still not put out.
Oh heavens, it's burning more and more.
Videos from the scene show police cars, fire trucks, and ambulances present. Reports indicated that some individuals were seen being carried out on stretchers. Several people on social media stated that the fire occurred at the DSM shopping center on Wuluo Road 421 in the Wuchang district of Wuhan. Around 5 p.m. that evening, a reporter from Jimu News arrived at the scene and observed that thick smoke was still coming from the shopping center, with a police cordon set up around the area. Some objects were falling off the DSM shopping center, and parts of the wall were blackened by smoke, creating a stark contrast with the surrounding lighter-colored surfaces. Firefighters set up a ladder and used water hoses to extinguish the flames. A drone was later seen flying above the mall. A business owner at the shopping center reported hearing the sound of fire trucks around 4:45 p.m. and soon after smelled thick smoke inside the mall. Property management began evacuating the people inside. A screenshot provided by the business owner showed a message from mall staff in a WeChat group instructing that safety was a priority and people should leave the premises first. A 119 fire emergency operator stated that no reports of casualties had been received at the time. A local resident shared a message stating that she was getting her hair washed at a hair salon on the fourth floor of the DSM shopping center in Wuchang. Midway through, she overheard someone casually mention that there was a fire, which she initially thought was part of an emergency drill. Later, she heard that the fire was on the third floor. The woman quickly grabbed her belongings and rushed outside. Black smoke was coming out of a shop near the west side stairwell on the third floor. Property staff instructed people to use the escalator to exit. She questioned the property management's decision, wondering if they were directing people into the smoke. She recalled that cinemas have elevators and at the very least, there should have been stairs. She managed to cover her mouth and nose with a towel while exiting and followed the directions provided by staff. Upon reaching the street, she noticed many people still taking photos and watching the scene. She quickly walked against the wind, avoiding inhaling the smoke. Online reports indicate that 3 hours after the fire broke out, smoke was still rising from the building. The specific cause of the fire and other details remain unknown. After the fire, the DSM International Shopping Center in Wuhan has been completely shut down. A video shared by a local resident showed the shopping center in complete darkness, with the entire building looking black and all shop doors tightly shut. Local netizens commented, "There were hardly any people inside. The place was mostly empty. Only the underground subway had a few people." Another added, "It was already struggling and now the fire has made things worse." The Wuhan DSM International Shopping Center was developed by Fentai Real Estate Co. Limited, with a total construction area of 260,000 square meters. It is a landmark complex featuring 5 A-grade office buildings, high-end residential apartments, and an upscale shopping center with a commercial space of nearly 70,000 square meters. It opened in April 2019. The shopping center has 6 floors above ground and 5 underground, making a total of 11 floors. China has many high-rise buildings, according to a 2018 report by the Beijing News. By that time, there were 1,478 buildings worldwide taller than 200 meters, with 678 of them located in mainland China. Fires in high-rise buildings can be common. On June 3rd of this year, another fire broke out in a building in Xi'an, Shanxi province. At approximately 6:20 p.m. that day, a fire started in Building D of Hball Plaza at the intersection of Fencheng 9th Road and Weiyang Road in Xi'an, Weiyang District. Eyewitnesses reported that the fire started on the exterior of the sixth floor and quickly spread upwards at an alarming rate, reaching the top floor within just 20 minutes. Video footage from the scene shows that the fire originated at the edge of the high-rise building's wall, with flames intensifying and thick smoke rising into the sky. Onlookers at the scene described the sight of the smoke as frightening. According to reports from Chinese mainland media, during the initial phase of the rescue operation, firefighters set up water hoses on the platform of a neighboring building to fight the fire. However, due to the rapid vertical spread of the flames, standard water hoses were unable to reach the higher fire points. Rescue teams quickly revised their strategy and deployed HighRise Fire pump trucks to the scene. An analysis from Sohu pointed out that rescuing people in such a high-rise building is particularly challenging. The use of aerial ladders is not effective, and the only option may be to use drones for firefighting. Fortunately, the fire occurred in the evening when many people were on their way home from work. If it had happened late at night or in the early morning, the situation could have been much more dangerous. Many modern exterior insulation materials are made from foam. Even high-end residential areas often use foam insulation layers on their perimeter walls. The use of such exterior insulation materials is a dangerous design, as they do not only fail to be fire resistant but also contribute to the spread of the fire. This completely ignores the most important aspect of fire safety, posing a significant safety hazard. Yet, many developers continue to use these materials. Where is the oversight? The fire took place in the Hairongmingchen residential area in Xi'an, located near Jiangjiabu Square to the east and the Xi'an Ring Expressway to the north. The complex consists of 4 tall residential towers, 2 smaller residential buildings, 2 high-rise apartment buildings, and nearly 20,000 square meters of street-level commercial spaces. While high-rise residential buildings offer good views, such incidents highlight the significant risk they pose in emergencies. In addition to the 2 buildings mentioned earlier, a fire also broke out in a high-rise residential building in Shijiazhuang, Hubei province around 10 p.m. on February 4th. In just a few seconds, a fire spread from the first floor to the top floor, turning the night sky red, which created a terrifying scene.
In just 30 seconds, it shot all the way up to the 30th floor. It's fully on fire now, fully burning.
In the video, the entire hallway of the building was engulfed in flames, with the fire spreading intensely. Flames shot up from the building, lighting up the dark night sky while thick smoke filled the air. A netizen claiming to be a resident of the affected high-rise stated that the fire started from some items in the hallway, igniting from the staircase. The fire began from materials outside the first floor, which then spread rapidly. The resident panicked, grabbed a down jacket, and rushed outside. The escape route on the second floor was blocked, forcing people to squeeze through sideways. According to local fire department reports, after receiving an emergency call, firefighters arrived at the scene and extinguished the flames within 30 minutes, at 10:50 p.m. Fortunately, there were no reported injuries. The report stated that the fire originated on the building's exterior wall, and the cause of the ignition is still under investigation. Some netizens commented, in the ongoing old neighborhood renovations in northeast China, they add a layer of foam boards to the exterior walls, which essentially adds a combustible layer. This is done in pursuit of profit, disregarding the safety of the people. Others said, the exterior insulation is the cause of the fire, and northern houses all have insulation layers, so that's why the fire spread so quickly. A netizen with insider knowledge mentioned that this residential area was a relocation community, and many of the hallways had disorganized wiring, posing significant safety hazards, though this could not be confirmed. A netizen added, from a distance, the fire looked like a dragon of flames rising from the bottom to the top of the building. It was really terrifying and shocking. Fortunately, there were no casualties in the community. If there had been fatalities, the responsibility of the relevant authorities would have been substantial. This is not the only high-rise fire incident this year. Similar incident occurred in 2024 as well. On December 11, 2024, a gas explosion in a high-end residential building in the Yuefu Phase 2 project, which has 28 floors, caused a fire. This event occurred in the Nanshan district of Shenzhen, Guangdong province. The video shows that after the explosion, flames appeared on the building and the glass curtain wall was severely damaged. Another video shows that during the incident, a woman who had been sitting by the window of the affected unit fell after being overwhelmed by the intense heat and flames. According to Shenzhen News Radio, in the afternoon of the incident, an explosion occurred in a residential unit at Phase 2 of Shenzhen Bay Yuefu. Witnesses reported that the shock wave from the explosion was so strong that it affected nearby landmarks, including the Spring Bamboo Tower. Citizens working in the Spring Bamboo Tower reported feeling a noticeable tremor, and some companies inside the building temporarily evacuated. A worker at a construction site located several hundred meters from the affected building told foreign media that the explosion caused a significant tremor and the fire spread to the fourth and fifth floors. Regarding the woman who fell, emergency responders stated that she had showed no signs of life at the scene. Screenshots of conversations from a neighborhood WeChat group indicate that a resident smelled gas leakage the day before the explosion. Workers came to investigate but did not conduct a thorough inspection. Staff from Shenzhen Gas Group Co. hotline confirmed that on the morning of June 11th, a resident from Phase 2 of Yuefu reported a gas issue and requested an inspection. However, after contacting the resident, the inspection request was later cancelled. According to a report by Beijing News, a fire started near Unit C on the 28th floor of the residential building, caused by a gas explosion. The affected floors were primarily the 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. At the time, second-hand housing prices at Phase 2 of Bay Yuefu were generally above 200,000 yuan per square meter. One 166 square meter, four-bedroom apartment was priced at 33 million yuan, while a 224 square meter, four-bedroom, two-living-room apartment was listed at 51.8 million yuan. Information from the Alibaba Assets judicial auction website shows that Unit C on the 27th floor, which was affected by the fire, had been auctioned 3 times but failed to sell each time. In addition to the incidents mentioned earlier, the 2022 fire at Lotus Garden China Telecom Tower and the 2023 explosion at Tianjin Finance Center Tower have also highlighted the dangers of high-rise fires. On August 22, 2023, a massive fire broke out at the Xintiandi building in Nankai District, Tianjin. Multiple videos shared online show the building's top floor, which had the words Ping An Bank displayed, engulfed in flames. Fire was visible from the top of the building's eastern exterior facade, with large flames and thick smoke billowing out. Objects were seen falling from the building after being consumed by the fire. Miss Wen, a nearby resident, told local media that the fire started around 2:44 p.m. Her family sent her a video of the building emitting black smoke, and within 5 minutes the entire building was fully engulfed in flames. According to a report from Shangyou News, an eyewitness stated that he was dining across from the Xintiandi building at around 2 p.m. when he heard about the smoke. He arrived at the scene and stayed for about 40 minutes. The building's commercial space on the ground floor were not on fire, but the fire was intense above the 5th floor. After the fire was extinguished, the building was left with only a charred framework. According to the Chinese Fire Department, the Xintiandi building is a 27-story office building with 2 underground levels. Public records indicate that the Xintiandi building, located at 345 Nanjing Road in Nankai District, Tianjin, is near the Haiguangshi subway station. It was completed in 2009 and is a mixed-use building combining office and commercial spaces. As for the 2022 fire at the Lotus Garden China Telecom Tower, it occurred around 3:30 p.m. on September 16th. The fire broke out on the exterior wall of the Heshuiyuan Telecom Tower, owned by China Telecom Hunan Company. The 218-meter-tall building was engulfed in intense flames. Videos from the scene showed thick smoke billowing, accompanied by explosions and burning debris falling from the building.
Look at this place. It's so terrifying. The entire telecom building is completely burned down. It kept exploding earlier, so it's scary. My hands are shaking while filming. Just listen to that sound.
It's still exploding. It keeps on exploding. Look, every floor inside is on fire. Witnesses stated that the fire likely started on the 4th or 5th floor of the building's podium, where the exterior insulation materials caught fire, rapidly spreading across the entire facade within 10 minutes. Other sources indicate that the cause of the fire was an explosion in the equipment room. It was also reported that the Hehua Garden building houses the China Telecom office on the lower floors and serves as a location where the Provincial Discipline Inspection Commission detain individuals for investigation. Public records show that the China Telecom Tower, which was completed in 2000, is the tallest building in Changsha and the city's first structure to exceed 200 meters in height. The building houses the Lotus Garden China Telecom Equipment Room, one of the largest trunk line access points in Hunan, featuring a 25 gig fiber optic direct China Net backbone network, full redundancy, and gigabyte firewalls. Professor Zhu Zhongyan from the School of Architecture and Urban Planning at Tongji University in Shanghai analyzed building fire incidents in China, pointing out that the highest fire truck ladders in China reach about 100 meters, while many high-rise buildings are 300 to 400 meters tall, making it impossible to reach fires at those heights. Regarding construction materials, he emphasized that exterior insulation materials are highly flammable and dangerous. Builders often use cheap materials to cut costs, and corruption is suspected in these procurement processes. Additionally, the lack of proper qualifications among construction workers poses a further risk. Zhu Zhongyan stated that the obsession with achieving world's first in China often leads to unsafe practices with many hidden risks. He pointed out that experts' opinions are often disregarded, with decisions ultimately being made by leaders who are not specialists, which is where the problem arises. Li Xiaojian, former director of the China Academy of Urban Planning and Design, mentioned in an interview with China Newsweek that among the various disasters affecting high-rise buildings, fires are the most frightening and concerning. He explained that the higher the building, the greater the risk and the more difficult the rescue operations. Even in large cities, firefighting equipment can usually only reach up to 50 meters, and fire trucks capable of reaching greater heights are extremely rare. He gave an example from his research in the Haikou Jiandong New District, where he and the fire department conducted an experiment on building heights control and firefighting access. When the fire truck extended to 40 meters, the top of the ladder swayed by up to 4 meters. In such conditions, it is extremely difficult for firefighters to use water hoses to extinguish flames or rescue people. This shows that excessively tall buildings do not match the current capabilities of firefighting operations. Additionally, high-rise buildings in China often lack effective means of escape or pathway in the event of a fire. With the aging of infrastructure, the cost of maintenance and upgrades for these buildings become high. Some high-rise buildings have also left many safety hazards during their construction, and as time passes, issues of cutting corners and substandard materials are gradually becoming evident. As high-rise buildings continue to rise, often driven by the political achievements of local officials, China's vanity projects are growing larger. However, fire safety in these buildings are not well managed, and fire hazards are prevalent.